Hello, I'm super excited to welcome you to this December 1st, to my first December Daily Collaging episode. This is Barbara from Vienna, Austria, and I will be tackling one of my prompts from my prompt list here, which is linked below. So I hope that you've had a chance to find or to make a book to work in. If you missed the kickoff for this series, please see the link below to catch up. I explain what alternatives there are to a vintage book like this, but I did forget to mention one alternative, which is covering your book with fabric. I must admit I've never done that, but I recently saw a fabulous video by Maureen in the Netherlands showing how to do it, and it has inspired me to give it a try soon. I will link that video for you below. Also, I would like to encourage you to check out Maud's channel. So Maud, as you might know, is also in the Netherlands and she has made the most adorable book cover with fairy lights inside, kind of like a shadow box. I was really blown away by how magical that turned out. And also she started a series of lanterns for her journal, which I'm very curious and excited about. So her channel is definitely worth checking out as well, and it's also linked down below. My book here, which I got at my Goodwill, super happy with this and very lucky find, I know. My book has 192 pages, but as you can see, they are very thick because, for example, if I compare this with my current read, which is Killing Commendatore from Murakami, my favorite author of all times, this book has over 680 pages and this one only has 193. So look at that, the page thickness, there's a huge difference. Just so you're aware that it's still quite a thick book, even though it doesn't have so many pages. And as I mentioned, this is a book with sewn-in signatures. So I'm going to have to be a lot more strategic with taking out pages. So what I want to have in the end is I need 12 pages, front and back, for my collages, because I'm going to be doing 24 collages. So starting today until Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. And I want to have at least 12 pockets in between for adding Christmas cards or whatever random things I come across that I want to treasure in this book. Yeah. So I have to admit I don't have a strategy for this yet, because I have to see how the pages are sewn in, how many pages a signature has, etc. So this is going to be very interesting. And the trick is to tear the pages out delicately so that the string that they are bound with, or the thread that they are bound with, does not get too loose, making the rest of your signature that is still left very wobbly. So that's what I'm trying to prevent. I don't know if I will be able to. But one thing I know I do not want to do, and I know this from experience, is I do not want to take the inside of this signature and just tear it out like this, because that will definitely weaken this thread. So I think what I need to do is very carefully, so I'm in the first signature right now, very carefully tear first one side and then tear the other side, hopefully without damaging the thread too much. Like this. And in my case I have a lot of scraps left here that I want to remove before removing any more pages, because they will hinder the tearing of the next pages. I'm suspecting that some of the pages in this book are glued in. That is usually how signatures are done. So this one is glued in. So it looks like I could take this one out and then this one is glued in. Let's see if that theory holds true. And of course, I'm again keeping all of these because we can use those for all kinds of ephemera. So let me just get rid of all these crumbs, paper crumbs. All right, yeah, so no, even this one is actually just sewn in. It's not glued in. You can see it comes off. Okay, so it seems like every signature has 3 pages. So let's find the middle of the next signature, which is here. All right, I'm going to continue this. I'm sure there's a better strategy to this. Yeah, my book pages are not the most cooperative. So you're gonna have to check how your book looks and what you can tear out without damaging the threads or the signatures themselves, whatever's going to be left of them. So I'm going to tear out one more because I think every book probably has different amount of pages per signature, etc. So you're gonna have to see what works for you or how many collages you want to make. If you want this dedicated just for December Daily, like I'm doing, then you really only need 12 pages. But if you want to have pockets in between as well, like I'm going to have, you need to calculate those in as well. So I think what I will do, and I think this should work with most books, is that I'm going to get rid of all the pages that are sewn in and keep the ones that are glued in, and see how far that takes me to being close to the pages that I need to have left. I know this is not a precise way of doing it, but I don't know how else to do it. I will continue with this method. I am just gently tearing out all the pages that are not glued in, and then we'll see where we are. So in my case, it's always tearing out 3 pages and then 2 of them are glued in. So maybe yours is similar, I don't know. So these are the 3 sewn in ones again, which I will tear out, and these were the 2 glued in ones. I continued the same process throughout the whole book, and I have taken out 70 pages in total, leaving me with 28 pages. And you might think that I've totally planned this, but I did not. What I did was I put a paper clip on those 2 pages that I always wanted to put together as a pocket, and I decided to make every second page a pocket because I did want to hide this binding, which just doesn't look as pretty anymore. So all of these are going to be full page pockets. And actually there's one here. Okay, there's 1 page in between here for some reason, which is glued, but it's not a pocket. I don't know how that happened, but that just happened. It doesn't matter. Every other page now is a pocket page. And by coincidence, I counted the pages. I now have 24 pages left for my collages. So, I mean, that couldn't have gone any better, to be honest. So that is amazing. This one here, since the end page is glued onto this page, I will just glue together like that. And so this is what it looks like from the top now. So you see there is enough space for collaging without the book becoming too much of a gator mouth. It will a little bit because of the pockets and things I'm going to put in the pockets, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So now you could do the same thing as I did in my recent altered book series, which I will link the playlist for you below, and make different kind of pockets by maybe folding the corner down, or by making a side pocket, a top pocket. You could just fold one of the pages halfway down like this and have a side pocket like this. So there's many versions of pockets you can make, but I actually am not gonna do that. I'm going to just have full page pockets, meaning I'm not gonna fold anything, because I want 24 full pages to work on with my collages. I'll alternate those between top loading pocket and side loading pocket, and making the half circle punch accordingly, and then glue those pages together to form my pockets. And then I'm ready to make my first collage. So I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle punch. If you don't have one, you can use something like a glue bottle to draw your half circles and then cut them out. If you have a punch, of course, that's easier. So I will start off making a, should the first one be top or side loading? Decisions. The first one will be, tell me. I'll make it top loading. I don't know why. It really doesn't matter. And I'm not gonna make a complete half circle. It's more like a third of a circle. I'm going to try to center this and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of my pockets. So the next one is going to be a side loading one. And of course, you don't have to make any half circles or anything in your pockets, but it just makes it more visible that it is a pocket, and it makes it easier to take out whatever you have put inside. So I'm going to just continue with this off camera and then be back. I have made all my punches, so alternating top and side. And as you can see, I've also inked up all of the pages already. You don't have to do this in one go. It is quicker, but if you don't feel like it, because it is a bit tedious, I'm not gonna lie, I was watching some other YouTube videos. You can also do this as you go along, as you make your collages, of course. I used vintage photo, as I always do, and for the outside I used this blending tool, and for the inside, for the crease here, what works really well is a soft blending brush like this. So I used the same vintage photo, and then I just went inside along like this. I will link these below if you can't find them locally. So now what is left to do is I need to, first I want to actually glue these two together, because they are just weird like this. And then I will start gluing the pockets. By the way, I have a tear here, but I think it'll be fine since it's going to be closed anyway. And I will start gluing the pockets shut, and I will start from the back moving forward, because I have a feeling the pockets lay flatter like this and they will be less likely to bulk. So let me first start by gluing these two last pages together. I'm going to use my tacky glue. You use whatever glue you are most comfortable with. I'm not worried about bulking, because first of all, using the tacky glue with this small tip here doesn't make your paper bulk, as I have seen in my other altered book. But also, I'm not going to be gluing the whole page down. I'm just going to be gluing the edges, so it will be totally fine. So I'm just gonna run a bead of glue alongside the edges, not going all the way out, because I don't want any glue squishing out on the sides or seeping through, to use a more technical term. So that's perfect. There's no warping whatsoever. And now I'll do the same thing with all of these pockets. So for these sideways side loading pockets, obviously I'm going to glue the top and the bottom. And this time I'm actually not even going to glue the middle. I did with the other altered book because those were glued in pages and I was worried about them coming out, but they seem very secure to me, so I don't think I need to do that, and I just want to prevent any chance of warping. So I'm only going to put a bit of glue on the top and on the bottom, and obviously I'll do it on the side and the bottom for the top loading pockets. So again, I'm just going to half close my book, make sure it's laying flat, and then I will just burnish these with my fingers. So that's the first pocket. Hopefully there will be no, what did I just do? Oh, it's just not glued down yet. That didn't hold well. Maybe I need to switch glues. All right, hopefully that will hold nicely. So let me show you one of the top loading pockets. So here I'll just put glue here and here. And when I glue them together, I'm always making sure that the ends of the pages meet up. I will show you in a moment what I mean by that. I'm adding a little bit more glue. Of course, one glue that would be better for this, that would stick stronger, would be the actual art glitter glue. But I only have this one bottle and I am stingy because they are quite expensive here in Europe anyway. So I'm avoiding using it if I can. I'd rather use it in collages. So what I mean is that I'm holding the book half closed like this so that these ends meet up when I glue them down in order for them not to warp. They might not line up perfectly, but as close as I can, I will have them line up. So you see there still is a little bit of a gap. Maybe I can, okay, I can actually make it so that there's no gap at all. So this is the pocket now. So if you can, try to aim for that, because that will then prevent your pages from warping, I believe. And I might have to switch glue. I'm not sure this tacky glue is strong enough on these pages. See, it's opening here. Okay, I need a stronger glue. Do not use tacky glue. Which should I use? I'm gonna use my 3-in-1 glue. Let's see if I can make this work better. Okay, hopefully this will hold better now. So I will continue doing this throughout all the book and then I'll be back. I'm done gluing all of my pockets, so I am ready to go. As you can see, there is some minor warping here on some of the pockets, but I think in the end you won't be able to see that once we start adding collages and adding things into our pockets. That won't matter, but in the most part there is no warping and it's good to go. In the last altered book that I was working on in my series, the last series that I made, I was working on random pages, meaning I didn't start from the front, so I just chose a page, worked on it, and then moved on to another page somewhere in the book. This time for December Daily, I'm going to work front to back because I just want this to reflect December 1 through 24 in that sequence, but you do what works best for you. And before I start choosing my prompt for today and working on my first collage, I have to do something else very important. So in Austria, and I think in a lot of other European countries, we have the tradition of having advent calendars. You usually buy these for your kids, but I don't have kids and I want one of these. So in the past, I don't know how many years, I've always bought myself one because I am still a big kid. And I thought I would share the opening of each day with you while I'm doing my December daily. So this one, you can choose different ones. So this one has gummy candy in it. I'm such a sucker for gummy candy. So this is Haribo. I think you know this brand in the States. You can get these with all kind of things in them. Like, for example, I can show you the one I got for my hubby because I always get him one as well. We don't actually celebrate Christmas, but we do love these advent calendars that count down to Christmas. I know it doesn't make sense, but we really have fun with this. So I bought him a chocolate one. This happens to be from the brand Lindt, which is a Swiss chocolate brand, and it is oh so good. This is a really cool one because it has like 2 doors that will open up. Unfortunately, I cannot open these for you because this is for my hubby, but here you can see what's inside. So they have this amazing Lindt chocolate, and this is actually my favorite chocolate of all time. It's this red Lindor. Oh my god, I'm salivating. And I'm guessing that this Santa Claus will be in there for the 24th. I don't know. Anyway, so this is so much fun. Let's find door number 1 for December 1 in this calendar and see what's inside. So here's my door. I'm going to open this. And there's a little bag of Christmas themed gummy bears in here. I really wish I could share these with you, but I guess you're just gonna have to watch me eat them. I'm so mean. I don't want to actually enable you to eat sweets. There's too much of that in December anyway. So this is what they look like. Okay. Moving on. So this is my prompt list, as you know. And I'm going to go for number 8, which is use a bird as your focal point. That should be easy enough to start off with. I will circle it to remind me that I've done that one. I think what I'll do is I will also cut this out. Actually, I can add that to one of my pockets in my journal. Why don't I do that? So I will cut this out, ink it up, and then we'll put it into a pocket, and then we'll think about our bird collage. I'm ready to fold this up and to put it in my pocket. I think if I fold it into 3, that should work out pretty nicely, size-wise. I've eaten up all my gummies in the meantime. You can't put those near me. They are gone in a second. Let's just add it. It's easier to take it out of a side pocket, so maybe I'll add it to the second pocket instead of the first one, which maybe is a bit weird, but I think it's just easier because then I'm going to be taking this out every day. There. Now, thinking about our bird collage, which is going to go here, I went through some of my vintage books, and I have this beautiful one, which is also from my Goodwill, and I know I'm super lucky with my Goodwill. I find the most gorgeous books there. And I found this little fella, or these 2 little fellas, but I think I might only use one. No, maybe I'll use both. I don't know yet. So there's a male and a female here. And I think they're so cute because of the red. And I think that's a great start for our collaging. Maybe let me just show you a flip through of these other. This one also, of course, is great for winter. Maybe I'll use him in another collage. These are great. So there's small images and there's large images. The large ones are sometimes a challenge to use. Look how cute. But they're just, look at this owl. They're just absolutely stunning. But if you need more inspiration about how to use larger images and larger book pages, I had a video a couple of weeks ago on what you can do with those. So I will link that video for you on the bottom as well. So let's take this page out carefully. It doesn't want to. Okay, here we go. Oh, even these look such gorgeous illustrations. Your question is tearing around them or cutting around them. I think I'm gonna go for tearing around them. They will pretty much take up most of the page. I will tear around them and then we'll see what it looks like. This is what they look like now, and I think it's absolutely adorable. I've inked around the edges. They will make a beautiful first page, I think. Of course, they still need a background. And I'm thinking, let's start off with some beautiful Christmas colors for the first page. And so I want to try to make a background with some typical green and white, or green and red, but specifically green because we have the red here already. So maybe I can find enough different green papers to make a nice background. For example, I just love the contrast here. I mean, that's gorgeous, just like this actually. But that wouldn't be so interesting probably. Love it though, really, really love it. So this could be one part of the background, and I want this to be where the heads are because that's where the most red is, and this is the deepest green I think I have here. And this is also beautiful with the embossed and embossing there. Then I don't think I have anything as green. Let's take all the red and white out. We won't need that. This I don't think will work now. Oops. I don't think I want more birds on the background. This is very pretty, and this, I don't know if this might be too light. I'm not sure. No, I don't like that. What about this one? It would be okay, but I find nothing else. Let's have a look at these papers, which I don't really like a lot, but if there's a green that will work, then I might consider it. This one maybe. It's not too far off from the others. Yeah, this one might be better, even though it has red in it. I don't know, maybe too much red, huh? Is this better? Maybe if I add another piece up here to balance it. I'm not loving it. The background maybe is a bit too dark for me. I don't know why. I mean, it's making the birds come out really nicely, but for some reason I'm not loving this background. Yeah, I want something light. I have this embossed cardstock, which is beautiful. That came in a Happy Mail. See, I like this a lot more, even though it is so simple, but it's just beautiful. Could also make this into a pocket, either sideways or another one from top, although we already have one up here. One other thing I could try is from my own winter digitals. I have some scraps left over here. I want to see what that looks like. That's actually quite nice. I'm loving these warm tones here. And I could add some from this. I actually really like that. I always tend to go for lighter colors. I'm not sure why, but I just gravitate towards them. Yes, I like this. I'm going to ink these up and glue them down. I'm not sure if I need to add much else, to be honest. This could just be a super simple page. I think I will add the date. I do think I want to have the date on every page here, but I need to think about how to add that best. I would like to make this a bit more Christmassy, so I thought maybe I would add some of this beautiful golden washi. I got this locally at least 2 years ago. So if we just maybe add a strip of that right where I have the two papers meeting up, that could be a nice accent. If we don't like it, we can take it off again. That's the good thing about washi. It doesn't stick very well, so I'm gonna have to add some glue anyway, but just to see if I like it. Oh, I really like it. It's actually very pretty. Okay, so I will run this over my glue stick, or do I need to? Now it's not coming off. No, it is. It's gonna come off with time, so I don't wanna risk that. I think the easiest way to do that, rather than adding a wet glue, is to run this over the glue stick. I'm just gonna hold my thumb down and then pull this. That works very well usually. I just had an idea, because since I love this gold strip here so much, I wanted to add a little bit more gold to this page to make it just a little more festive. And I thought I would try some gold embossing. I have this stamp here, which is great as a background stamp. It's from Crafty Individuals in the UK. This is their website. I will link that for you below, and this is the number of the stamp, CI 214. As a reminder, they come without this backing, so you'd have to buy these sheets of foam to back your stamps with, so that you can mount them on a plate like this. How do I do this best? I'm just worried because this is not very flat. Well, we'll just give it a try anyway. So I have my embossing stamp pad, and I have some gold embossing powder. Let's just try this. So I'm gonna ink up my stamp. Maybe I will first do one stamp on the scrap paper, because I think this stamp might have some black still on it from the last stamping. Yeah, see, I wanted to get rid of that. That is because I don't clean my stamps. Let's try this again. I'm going to wipe around the edges. I don't want any embossing powder on the edges of my stamp. That is something I am particular about. I don't like that. Now we will try to stamp this. Hopefully it's gonna work well. Put it up here because there was some space there. I don't know if this is working. Let's add some powder over it. Maybe it will work. Looks okay. And now I will take my heat gun and see what this does. For a moment there, I thought it wasn't working because it took forever to melt, but it melted. And wait, can I hold it so that you can actually see the shine? Yeah, a little bit like that. So yeah, it is embossed in gold. This is as good as I can show it to you. It's beautiful. I wish you could see it like I'm seeing it. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Now, love, love, love this. For the date, I'm going to use this stamp set that I'm also using in my altered book planner. I got these in the States, probably from Michael's or a place like that. So I have a December here and a 1. So I will try to stamp that. And I will also do that with the gold embossing. And I won't do it directly here because there's a great chance I will completely mess that up. So I will do it on a scrap piece of vellum. My beloved vellum. That I am always on a warpath with. But actually, since I have started gluing vellum down with double-sided tape, it's going much better. The vellum and I have come to a mutual agreement that that is going to be our preferred way of gluing, and it has calmed down, I have calmed down, and I think it's all good. Now, actually, I know from experience, it's not a good idea to put these on here and to stamp it in one, because a lot of times these stamps aren't the same height, and so either the December or the 1 won't stamp correctly. So I'm gonna do it separately. I'll first do the December, and I will again first stamp that to make sure there's not a lot of ink left, but it seems fine. And the 1 as well. Okay, we are good to go. The 1 is very crooked because I couldn't really see the December, but I'm gonna leave it. It's okay. That worked a lot quicker. There you see, it's just beautiful. I will trim around this and then we'll stick it to our collage. I've inked around it as well, and now I'm just going to add some double-sided tape on the back. And now I just need to add my 2 little birds here. The final touch will be to add a sentiment, especially since this is our first page. I wanted to have something there. So I'm going to check my sentiments in my cigar box. This is a mixture of a lot of different things, but I'm thinking specifically of my crafting sentiments, which I will link below for you. These are from my shop, and I actually already like this first one. The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul. So that might really be a nice one to start off with. Creative adult is a child who has survived. No, I like to party, and by party I mean make journals. That might also be a nice one to start with. Mess with my stuff and I'll punch out your eyelets. Junk journaling, cheaper than a therapist. Yep, definitely. That might also be a nice one for a first page. Mistakes aren't actually mistakes, they're just embellishment opportunities. Cooking and cleaning are for people who haven't discovered junk journaling. Yep. It looks like I'm listening to you, but I'm really thinking about the paper I just ordered. I'm a romantic. I live for long, dreamy walks down the craft aisle. That's totally me. Weekend forecast, crafting with a chance of chocolates, or for me with a chance of gummies. Creative minds are rarely tidy. Money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy new junk journaling stuff, which is kind of the same thing. I'm addicted to junk journaling. I need a 12 by 12 step program. I'm obsessed with famous couples. Paper and markers, glitter and glue, stamps and die cuts. Crafting fills my life and my closets and my drawers and every empty tote bag in the house. I can totally relate to that as well. So I like these 2. Now I just need to choose one. And I'm not sure that I will keep the red border. It's totally coincidence that I picked both with a red border. So what would make a better opening statement? Junk journaling, cheaper than a therapist. The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human soul. If I do keep a red border, and depending on how I add it, I will have 3 red elements. So that would be nice. So I should keep the red border. Having said that, I think this one is then too large. Can I make this one work? Keeping the border. I always go for bottom right for some reason. As always, it's too white, so I will go over it with my tea dye and my soft blending brush. I'd say it's done. I'm super happy with this. Love the way it turned out. Love the gold accent, really makes it festive. Love the sentiment and the birds. So I hope this gave you some inspiration to start in your December daily journal, whatever that might be. I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is definitely going to be a lot shorter because we don't need to do anything with the book. Our book is ready to go. So it will just be a very quick collage that will hopefully get your juices flowing again. Your creative juices, that is. So looking forward to seeing you then. Have fun with this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.